What's in the package? You heard the big kind of rhetorical soaring speech that the president had last night. The details here matter, and here's why. Not only does it include $60 billion for Ukraine, which roughly aligns with an annual appropriation to continue the U.S. aid towards Ukraine for a long period of time, not to have month-to-month re-ups that have caused so much political division, given House Republican opposition to much of that aid. When it comes to Israel, the president and his team having very in-depth discussions, I'm told, about what the Israelis needed while the president was over there, landing around $14 billion. But there's also other elements as well. Humanitarian aid, which has been critical, both Ukraine and other places around the world. But look at this, $14 billion for the border, drug trafficking, fentanyl. That's important because Republicans will have to support this plan as well. They point to that as a critical need. The administration says it's critical as well. And also $7 billion for the Indo-Pacific and Taiwan. That is also a bipartisan issue. The administration in this national security package really trying to drive towards something that can get majority support in the House and the Senate. They believe it's there, whether or not the House actually has a speaker. Still at this point, an open question. Why the difference between aid to Israel and Ukraine? This is an important point here because it's not as dramatic as it may look in this emergency package. In fact, the $14 billion is roughly what the Israelis were asking for in terms of needs. And here's in part why. If you look at the scale of U.S. assistance, and you want to understand just how close this alliance is, $260+ billion adjusted for inflation since World War II is more than any other country that the U.S. gives military aid to. Obviously, Israel was created in 1948. The difference is critical. Ukraine, so large in part because it's not just money going to Ukraine. It's going to help U.S. stocks in rebuilding those. Take a listen.
We send Ukrainian equipment sitting in our stockpiles. And when we use the money allocated by Congress, we use it to replenish our own stores, our own stockpiles with new equipment. Equipment that defends America and is made in America.
Significant from the president making that distinction for the American people, especially for those who do not support more aid there.
How this works matters.
Matters.